in San Diego, we had an exponential increase in significant interest aliens. These are aliens with significant ties to terrorism. At the time, I was told I could not release any information on this increase in SIAs or mention any of the arrests. The administration was trying to convince the public there was no threat at the border.
Wow. That was retired Border Patrol Chief Aaron Heitke accusing the administration of hiding information about the alarming spike in border crossings with migrants suspected of ties to terrorism. Senior Research Fellow for National Security at the Heritage Foundation, Brent Sadler, is here to react to this. Brent, simple question. Is there a cover-up now by this administration, specifically by the Department of Homeland Security, on how many really bad terrorist actors have sneaked in without any kind of vetting into our country?
Well, this is information that I think American citizens they should have access to this information. It should not be suppressed. It's important for us to make decisions about.
But do you think it has been suppressed?
Absolutely. I think very clearly, and I'm not surprised by the whistleblower, and I think many folks in D.C. have known about this kind of tendency, predilection of the current administration to do this, and it's not limited to what we're seeing from DHS.
So how big a threat to national security is it? Should we, I hate to say it, but should we expect something bad to happen? Some terrorist activity set off by one of these migrants that sneaked across the border without any proper vetting?
I think it's a matter of when, not if, because there's so many unvetted, unknown, and there certainly aren't the type of controls and not the capacity to go after these folks if we do have a tip. And just look at what the Secret Service is having problems doing in protecting the candidate President Trump. So there's a lot of questions.
Which is also, by the way, under the purview of the Department of Homeland Security. That's where Secret Service lives now, and
yes,
and they're in charge of the border and Secret Service, and on both fronts they seem to have failed, or at least are slipping noticeably.
Absolutely. They've lost sight of who their responsibilities are to. It's to the American taxpayer and citizens. And this, what we're seeing now, covering up and trying to move away attention from inconvenient truths, it's the last thing. They need to be held accountable, and they need to do their jobs and be responsible to the taxpayers.
We have another national security crisis that came from the border, and that's the increase in crime. These international organizations like Tren de Aragua from Venezuela, which is now spreading out in towns all over America, from the West Coast, middle of America to the East Coast, big cities, smaller towns and cities. What do we do about that?
Well, the first thing is you need to actually empower your police force to actually go and arrest the individuals, to have them prosecuted rather than let out with no cash bail.
But that's a local answer to the question. I'm wondering. Yes. I mean, we remember FBI was really started by J. Edgar Hoover as a response to the Cosa Nostra, to another international crime organization that had invaded America back in the 1930s. Do we need something like that on the federal level?
Well, I would actually probably take it to the next level and say that we have to do a far better job along our border, and that might require bringing in National Guard and the military to make sure that the border is secured, because nothing else can happen, nothing else is possible unless you've got that border secured. Even immigration reform is not possible without that.
I'm getting a wrap, so it's got to be quick. But Israel, the Middle East situation, it's our #1 ally. They attacked their #1 enemy, Hezbollah / Iran, with these pager bombs. Apparently, we don't have absolute confirmation of that, but the administration is at least being silent, if not complaining quietly about that. Should they be, or should we be glad that it happened?
Well, the current administration, in my estimation, has no grounds in which to be dissatisfied or upset with Israel's actions. Israel is acting on Israel's national interest and survival. They've been having to do that without much support from this current White House. So really, the fact of the matter is what we're going to see in the next few days is whether or not Israel has been preparing the ground for a larger incursion into southern Lebanon, that our diplomats on our side in D.C. have not been able to apply adequate pressure on the Hamas, Hezbollah, and Iran axis to get to a better, more humane solution. So it's going to be a test of arms, unfortunately, and we're probably going to find out in the next couple of days. In the context of the UN General Assembly in this town next week, I think also adds added emphasis and context to this very historic attack.
Brent Sadler, thank you so much. Thank you for your service, a captain, former submariner.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it very much.